For many across the country, this past weekend was a declaration of independence, unlike any other. Thousands publicly celebrating, social distancing guidelines ignored. From Diamond Lake in Michigan to the beaches of New Jersey and Delaware to Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri, as though a global pandemic wasn't underway. Social distancing was observed on some beaches, and some celebrations were canceled. But in Atlanta, hundreds of people packed nightclubs, dancing, sharing hookahs, even as Georgia's caseloads continue to climb. The mayor herself just testing positive. All this as the number of COVID-19 cases in the U.S. continues to rise. 38 states now reporting increases. 9 have hit record highs.
People are dying. People are getting sick with a disease that we right now are still trying to find out how to even find a cure for it.
In Florida, the number of cases have now surpassed 200,000. In Texas, more than 8,000 people hospitalized. It's become a cultural clash between those taking the virus seriously and those who appear not to. Like this woman in Scottsdale, Arizona, who posted a viral video of herself throwing masks to the ground.
Everybody else do it. I can't do it because I'm a blonde white woman. Wear a $40,000 Rolex.
Her actions come as the state sees a record high of hospitalizations and more than 100,000 positive cases, with scientists sounding the alarm that this latest surge could be our most dangerous yet.
I can't make an accurate prediction, but it is going to be very disturbing. I will guarantee you that.
With the death toll more than 130,000, the U.S. now has more deaths than any other country in the world. While the virus is still significantly more dangerous for people over 65, those under 50 account for nearly 58% of reported cases and 6% of deaths. 31-year-old Cara Schiavo has been fighting COVID since March. Her doctors say she may now have asthma for life.
I also thought it was only really, dangerous for the elderly until I got it. I exercised before this, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, and it didn't matter how old I was.
Although you think you're isolated in a vacuum, you're not. You're part of the propagation of the pandemic. So it's your responsibility to yourself as well as to society to avoid infection.
As too many Americans have learned, this virus doesn't discriminate by age. Broadway star Nick Cordero was a talented actor who commanded the spotlight, both on stage, like in this performance at the Tonys.
If I go to church on Sunday, burn down my school on Monday.
And on TV, in shows like Blue Bloods.
Well, if it isn't my favorite defective.
But on Sunday, he lost his nearly 4-month battle with COVID-19. He was just 41. His wife, Amanda Klutz, announcing his death on Instagram, writing, "God has another angel in heaven now. I am in disbelief and hurting everywhere. My heart is broken as I cannot imagine our lives without him."
Nick Cordero.
In 2014, he was nominated for a Tony for his role as Cheech in the musical Bullets Over Broadway. 2 years later, he landed a pivotal role in A Bronx Tale, the musical, playing Sonny.
I love this kid.
Sonny takes this kid under his wing, teaches him that you have to make complicated decisions and what kind of a man do you want to be? Do you want to live in love or do you want to live in fear?
You want to know what to give 'em? The answer ain't love, it's fear.
In mid-March, the seemingly healthy father fell ill.
The tipping point sort of happened one morning. We were eating breakfast, and I asked Nick to go change Elvis's diaper, and I heard a huge thump. And I ran into the bedroom, and he had fallen, he had fainted.
He was initially diagnosed with pneumonia, then COVID-19. Weeks later, he was sedated and put on a ventilator in the ICU at Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles. Then his condition grew more severe. He started having clotting issues. In hopes to save his life, his right leg was amputated. After a little more than a month on a ventilator, his wife announcing in May that he awoke from his coma, sharing a video on social media, celebrating with their 1-year-old son, Elvis.
Dada is awake. Yeah!
Still, he was very weak, but she remained optimistic, every day dancing outside his hospital window. Others joined in on social media. After a 95-day uphill battle, Klutz said goodbye to him yesterday. posting that she sang his song, Live Your Life, to him one last time while holding his hand. Tributes to the husband and father pouring in. Former co-star and best friend Zach Braff tweeted, I can honestly tell you I have never met a kinder human being. Don't believe that COVID only claims the elderly and infirm. Terica Parks knows that all too well.
Whoever thought that talking, something as simple as talking, would be this difficult.
In early March, this 28-year-old mother of two was diagnosed with COVID-19.
Because it felt like I was using all the energy I had just to stay alive. I felt my body just shutting down.
You literally thought you were going to die.
Yes, ma'am. I started looking through all the old pictures of me and my kids and my husband. I was crying.
She contracted the virus at church in Albany, Georgia, where she lives. An asthma sufferer, she knew her underlying condition could make the effects of the virus much worse.
I continued to vomiting blood, and I remember texting my husband and telling him that I can't fight anymore.
She went to the ER twice, doctors telling her her organs were on the verge of shutdown. From her hospital bed in a special COVID unit, weak and frail, she took to Facebook, one last prayer on her lips.
I was ready to give up. Then I had to remind myself of who I am and whose I am, trusting the Lord with everything within you.
But she pushed through, making it home for a 2-week isolation.
So this is where I have been since March 14th. Self-isolation at its finest, y'all. It has been miserable.
Before finally getting the all clear to see her children again.
I'm excited. I'm getting ready to hug my kids. I'm gonna eat that!
We followed up with her in late April, just as Georgia was allowing restaurants and some businesses to reopen, a decision she was not a fan of.
So many people right here in the small city of Albany, Georgia, have lost their lives to this virus. And I know that it's not over yet. It's still out and about. You don't know who could have the virus.
Over this past weekend, there have been more than 7,000 new cases reported in Georgia. Terica, who's been through this once before, hopes others take this surge as seriously as she was once forced to.
My doctor told me that I have a chance of contracting the virus again. I do not want COVID-19 again. You know, a lot of people have lost their lives, and I was one of those ones that thought that I would not make it out of the hospital. But fortunately, I made it out, so I'm very grateful for that.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.